Alright everyone, this is episode 85 today for the Brazilian Grand Prix. If you missed the previous episode at Portimao, I recommend you go and check that one out before seeing this one. A full wet race at Portimao. I mean, making it even more of a roller coaster than it already is. But we have a 16-point lead over Max Verstappen, so we can round out the World Championship this weekend. It will be a little bit difficult though, because of course we are only the 6th fastest team on the grid. Nobody has brought any upgrades between Portugal and Brazil because the game has taken a leaf out of the real life calendar and have put Mexico, Portugal, Brazil as a triple header. Well, it's actually a quadruple header with Abu Dhabi. Yes, that does not make sense. But anyway, enough about that. It's time for qualifying. Yes, of course, it's not quite so crucial around here because, of course, you've got the sprint, which means that my poor qualifying performance teamed up with the fact that the AI ROP in qualifying means that it doesn't, it's not the end of the world and we can still have a good qualifying position for Sunday's race. But anyway, we are down in P13. Vettel's the only one. The top 7 teams that are behind us currently as it stands, and we'll have to see if it stays like that. 4,000 slower than Hamilton through Q1. The Mercedes, to be fair, they have got faster in a straight line. It's just they're not fast as us. Well, nobody's faster than us because this is a rocket. I mean, they just strapped a rocket ship to the back of the Williams, but effectively 3 and a bit tenths up through the middle sector though. That's very good. I always feel like the middle sector is where I can improve, but I don't tend to improve. This corner is horrible for traction. Always lose Tom out of that corner as the AR in this year's game. And as we come through, we're 3 and a bit tenths up on our previous best time. Leclerc was down there, but I think he's improved. We're down at P15 now because Schwartzman's improved from the bottom 3 teams there, but we're almost half a second up on our previous best time. Zhou's improved as well, down to 17th, but our time is good enough, I think, for P11. Yes, P11, which, to be fair, half a second off is very good considering the IIOP qualifying pace. Just a shame that the 2 Red Bulls are up there as well, but Piastri can get involved. Sainz, of course, will lead the way. So yeah, we'll see what we can do from 11th on the grid. It's time for the sprint.
Forget pit stops, forget fuel management. It's pedal to the metal all the way here as we get ready for today's sprint. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting sprint. An immense lap from Carlos Sainz yesterday puts him in pole position. And Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Oscar Piastri, Norris, George Russell and Leclerc, Tsunoda, Albon, Gasly and Sebastian Vettel, Phoenix, Ocon, Kevin Magnussen and Hamilton, Mick Schumacher, Joe, Robert Schwartzman and Lance Stroll, Bottas and Nicholas Latifi. And with preparations almost complete, let's head trackside for today's sprint.
So we are down on the grid. Going to reduce the fuel limit and soft tyres all the way. So 5 red lights for this Brazilian Grand Prix sprint, and after a little hold, away we go. It's an okay start. Can we get Vettel off the line? Someone else on our inside as well, so I think it's Ocon. Can't get Vettel at turn 1. There's a bit of an understeer there as well. Can't get the AlphaTauri. The AlphaTauri's had a poor exit. Going to swoop around the outside and retain, well, be down to P12. As up at the front, things did not go well off the start because Carlos Sainz has lost the lead to Max Verstappen. So Verstappen's going to be on for 4-8. We need to start making moves then. And straight away getting Sebastian Vettel. Magnussen follows me through as well, so we're up to P11 now. But of course, still no points yet. Next up is Gasly, Ocon, as well. Danny inside. Can we get Sonoda as well? No, Sonoda has the inside line. We're going to go right around the outside as well. But that was a lovely little move, threading the needle there to make sure that we didn't go through as Gasly got wayward on Albon there. Sorry, Ocon. Excuse me, with a fly Frenchman. But we have got in front. Now we're going to get Sonoda at the hairpin here, up to P8 now, so we are starting to get points now. Now we just need to move forward. Anything here, you know, good, this is a good qualifying position for us. Now we're now catching up to George Russell, who we can't be stuck behind even if with a quicker Mercedes, and we just dive down the inside. Russell doesn't put up too much of a fight. Now we're onto the back of teammate Piastri, who shouldn't put up a fight. Bearing in mind he's not in the championship fight and we are, and he does eventually let us pass, but not helpful enough really. He is P6, couldn't get Albon though, so but nevertheless, you know, P6 is a good starting position for the main race. We can definitely get some good points from here, as well as come up to the line then for P6. Yeah, of course, we lose points to Verstappen and Leclerc. Nevertheless, do we get driver of the day there? So yeah, we are at least been cut to 11 points now. Leclerc is still there, 169. Everyone else is pretty much out of it. We'll find out definitely in the race. So yeah, well, we'll have to see what we can do from 6th place on the grid. Can we beat Verstappen and Leclerc? It's time for the day's Brazilian Grand Prix.
Formula One returns to Interlagos once again with the stage set for what promises to be another classic Sao Paulo Grand Prix. Sebastian Vettel famously clinched his 3rd championship here in 2012, and in 2016, Max Verstappen treated us all to one of the finest wet weather drives of all time. We're racing then at Interlagos, a historic 2.7 mile circuit and one of the few anti-clockwise tracks on the calendar. 15 corners in total, 9 to the left and 6 to the right, with a technical middle section opening up to a flat-out Sector 3 that give us our best passing opportunity down into Turn 1. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. World champion Max Verstappen starts from pole position, and the smooth operator Carlos Sainz completes the front row. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Leclerc, Norris, Alex Albon, Phoenix, Oscar Piastri, Russell, Sonoda, and Pierre Gasly, Ocon, Magnussen, Sebastian Vettel, and Hamilton, Mick Schumacher, Stroll, Valtteri Bottas, and Nicholas Latifi, Joe, and Robert Schwartzman. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box, and it's fantastic to have you here with us today. But I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
Well, I imagine they'll be starting to feel the adrenaline as they anticipate the rundown into Turn 1, a bit like preparing to go into battle. The unknown situation will bring nerves, but that's a good thing. It will keep them focused on the moment and on their surroundings as we build towards the start of the Grand Prix.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
Thanks, Mark. Here we're down on the grid. I'm hoping we can get some good points. My strategy is going to be our favourite one-stop from medium to soft, because, you know, it's the strategy that has effectively brought us good work with this championship so far in Season 5. Doesn't always work, but you know, that is the strategy we will go on. So we head then to 5 red lights for the Brazilian Grand Prix, the penultimate round of Season 5, and away we go. And it's a pretty dismal start, the usual dismal start in this year's game. Piastri were down on the inside of Piastri, and I think that was Russell in the Mercedes down the inside. We've got a warning for collision with Russell didn't mean to make any collision. But at the start, well, when he wanted Sainz to try and show his quali pace, Leclerc got in front of him at the start. So you know, it's a Red Bull 1-2. I mean, they've pretty much almost won the constructors anyway, as we now need to get in front of Albon. He's going to be slower, of course, because I suspect he might be going to hards, not softs. So yeah, it's important, as we did, to get round the outside. So unusual overtake, turn the inside next corner, but unusual to see an overtake there as well around the outside, usually the inside there. But unfortunately, jump to lap 5, things are not going well. We don't have this strategy, for some reason, has proven that we don't quite have the pace. And I think the little bit of AI traction OP-ness is coming in through some of the corners, which is not helping the pace. I mean, I know on mediums there's going to be a deficit here, as we're going to repass Albon, but you know, only just. And he has another go at us a lap later down the inside. So Albon, you know, he's all over us in a car that's actually slower than us, even on the R&D chart. We're probably a lot slower in a straight line, but we have defended successfully from Albon. Going to come in on lap number 9. Earlier we had tell the team, unfortunately the team have messed up, and Piastri's also in as well. He could have pitted a lap earlier, but he decided he didn't want to. You know, we need to make this pit stop now, because otherwise we are going to lose out to the likes of Russell. We need to we take priority in the team, as we're the one fighting for the championship. With Verstappen there, he's comfortably leading from, well, to say comfortably, he's leading from Leclerc, not really being challenged, but he's going slowly. Is that a puff of smoke? Yes, it is. Verstappen's out of the race. That's changed everything. That's Verstappen's championship over, potentially. We'll have to wait and see what happens at the end of the race. But for Piastri, he's out the points, so that's the constructors blown, as well as Russell jumped Albon in the pits, as well. Albon did indeed go to hard tyres, but for us, these softs were horrible. They just didn't give me any pace, losing time to the top 3. So yeah, don't quite know what happened with that, but never mind. We'll come home for P4. It's just that, you know, we were looking to round out the championship a round early, have a comfortable round last lap, not have a championship finale. The fact we've lost points to Leclerc isn't the end of the world. But the Verstappen's a huge one, because you know he was leading the race, and he would have been flying up in the championship. He would have taken the lead of the world championship, and we would have been on the back foot going into Abu Dhabi as well. But yeah, for Verstappen, fastest lap as well, was dominating at the front, and now, Leclerc's come out of nowhere and is 9 points behind us. He's won the last two. He's actually won the last 2 races as well. Would have made it 3 if we hadn't stopped him in Mexico from winning. You know, Leclerc is on one. He wants to make a third world championship his. Red Bull, unfortunately, out of reach now, almost out of reach in the constructors, I think. So no, they are out of reach. Excuse me. So yeah, rivalry, we've pretty much lost that already to Leclerc, because he's been on it like a car bonnet since we made him our rival. We're not going to lose too much claim to him anyway. Not that it matters at this point of the career mode anyway. So yes, just 9 points separate myself from Leclerc. 1 race remaining at Abu Dhabi. That race episode will be out later in the week as well, so don't forget to subscribe to see that, and also season 6 as well, which will be coming soon to the channel. But yes, I'm disappointed about that. I thought we would have had more pace at Brazil, especially the fact, you know, we had such a good sprint race where we made it from what was it, P12 to P6, and then to go from P6 to P4 in the race, the top 3 were just too far in front. Don't know if it was the strategy, don't know if it's the tyres, or something was off. in that full race today. And that, you know, when we're trying to round out the championship, it's not good enough. You know, there has been signs that the car isn't going to potentially be competitive enough next season. So will we have to look elsewhere? Well, you'll have to wait and see. Anyway, if you have enjoyed this episode, leave a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel. I see plenty more F1 22 driver career videos as and when they come out. Until the next video then, I'll see you next time. Take care, thanks so much for watching, enjoy your day, and goodbye.